What is going on? I am Cole, and welcome back to my channel. I am going to talk about some of my goals for this year. It is 2023 officially, I think, as this is rolling. I recorded this technically in the past, which was 2022, but I just kind of wanted to go over. Last year I did a goals video, and I thought it was a good way to kind of focus on collecting and just kind of how I deal with my comics. So I thought I'd do the same for this. So I want to kind of do a little bit of a recap. I know that there were 2 books that I said I wanted to get, but I said some of these weren't realistic. One of them was the first appearance of Miles Morales. While I did get the second print, I did not get the first print, and another one was Amadeus Cho's first appearance. I kind of mentioned wanting to get all of the champions, and yeah, I know I even mentioned that Amadeus Cho was probably my least favorite of the champions, and so it wasn't as important. I think I still have a lead on that book, so I'm hoping to maybe get that in the beginning of this year, but it's just been a little bit hard with Christmas and everything like that to really focus on getting a book like that hasn't, I like it, and I would like to have all of the champions, but it's not super important to me. Another part of my goal was reading. I always do 1,200 comics every year. This year, I did not meet that goal, unfortunately. There was a lot of stuff. It just, with my surgery, there was a good period of time where I just was not focused on reading. It was a little too hard. Sometimes I couldn't just really get out of my headspace to really read. So unfortunately, I did not make that goal either. And the other big one was Batman-related books. I got some of the Batman villain keys. So I got the Poison Ivy. I got the first Bane. Those were books that I was looking forward to, but I also said I wanted to go through the Batman run and get some of the 500s and maybe even all of them, and I did a very bad job of that. Unfortunately, I think I just lost organization, which made it really hard focusing on that, so that is kind of a bummer, but hey, we'll see some things as we go through this year, see what I want to do. So last year, technically, all my goals were pretty much fails, but you know what? I had fun, and I got some new stuff, and I got to focus on some of that stuff. So I think it did help me, and I think maybe I just overpicked how much stuff that I really wanted. I think this year I'm going to try and do a better list, so let's get to that. So as I mentioned earlier, I did not make my reading goal, but I like to read 100 comics a month if I can, which gives me a total of 1,200 comics. I'm going to keep that goal. That is just a goal that I'm going to have every single year. And yeah, unfortunately, I did not make that last year, but hopefully I can make it this year. And that's usually how it goes. Some years I get it, some years I don't. And that's fine. But it's just an easy way for me to track and have a slight goal on what I really want to do with reading. I use a Google Doc sheet to track everything. So if you want that, hit me up on Instagram. My link's down below. I can send you the template to that. Pretty much what you do is you just input what you read per month. It counts it up for you, and then it adds it all up and lets you know how much you need to read. But it's an easy way of storing it. I don't know that there's a better way of storing what you read, but I like it because I can do it on my phone or I can do it on my computer, wherever I am. As long as I have internet, I can add to that. So that's kind of a big goal that I like to have every single year with reading. So if you have any sort of reading goals too, let me know. I love hearing what people like to do every year. The one thing I do want to add is that I was doing in the month of November, I was trying to showcase some of the stuff that I read. I'm going to try and do a better job of showing off books that I read, either in shorts or using the community tab to help showcase some of the stuff that I read, because it's been hard. I don't have a lot of time to really make and edit videos as much to talk about that, but I figure if I make these types of videos or, those community posts, I can get interactions with people, kind of know what other people are, doing, but also talk about these books if it's something that you're interested in talking about. So I kind of alluded to this earlier, but I made a Batman goal, and I kind of said the issue that I had with it was that I was doing a bad job of organizing. So one of the big things I want to do is organize my collection a little bit better and trying to figure out just a way to do it. I think unfortunately I got so far behind on stuff. I'm just in a weird spot where I just kind of have to do it. I know that, when recording this, I have a few days off still, so I'm hoping to really invest some time in getting my office organized to help get my collection organized, but just figure out a better way to organize the collection. It's kind of hard. I know that I personally kind of have done stuff by publisher and in alphabetical order, but let me know what other people think. I know some people just do straight alphabetical order. The issue I run into with that is that I'm pulling stuff off the shelf so much to add books that makes it a little bit hard. So I usually just kind of do generally these are time zones, of when this stuff comes out. If I fill a book, I kind of put stuff that is no longer being collected into other smaller boxes and kind of go from there. So who knows, maybe I'll switch that up. I would love to have some recommendations on organization and what people do to organize, and maybe I'll come up with some ideas, as I'm doing it. I can show maybe people some of the collection and see how I do that. And yeah, so maybe I will end up going through and showing some of the ways that I organize stuff if I find a way. But if you have some good ideas, let me know as I start to get to the next goal. I think organization is definitely going to be very key to that. So yeah, that's just one of the things that I want to kind of improve on. So I'm always looking for ideas. If you have some YouTube videos or friends creating YouTube videos about organization or best ways to organize their collection, I would love to hear those, because that is something that I definitely have an issue with and I really want to improve. So hopefully as I create some update videos, maybe I'll have some sort of a progress with that to hopefully help people with that too. So I mentioned that this goal was going to be based on some of the organization, why I need to get more organized. But my next goal is to sell a little bit more of my collection and, flip some of these books that I don't care about as much to get some of the bigger books that I might care about. I think I even mentioned that last year. I did an okay job, but once my son was born, it just got hard to kind of do stuff like Whatnot. There was nearly not as much time to do that. So I'm hoping, I recently got approved on Drip. My link down below, you can join me. If you join that link, I think you get a $15 credit, and I get $20 back. And if you refer somebody off that, later on you get $20 or something. I don't know exactly how it works, but I'm pretty sure you get a $15. I think those are only for buy it now. So one of the things I'm going to be big on doing is having certain books as buy it nows, just so that people can start using some of those credit back. It is a new platform. They're really trying to focus on comics, I think, in this upcoming year, and I'm going to be one of the people on there helping sell comics. So I'm excited for that. And, just organizing my office to make it so that I can stream better on there. It's going to be a big thing too. So as I kind of change what I'm doing, organization is going to help with selling, but that is one of the platforms I'm going to be using. I'll probably continuously use eBay just because there's certain things that I think eBay is good for. You can just leave a book up for forever and go there. I know that Drip does have storefronts, so there will be certain things that you can just buy it now whenever from my account, that I'm kind of excited to see how that works and how that will go. But I don't know that it's going to be one of the biggest new changes of platform, but I'm really excited to be part of this new team and at least experiment with it a little bit and see how it is. There's a lot of other good sellers on there. So if you come to my streams, I'll probably have you raid some of their rooms. We'll show some other stuff. But if you can at least go and follow me on Drip, that would be very helpful, because the more followers you get, it just makes it a little bit easier for other people to find me over there and hopefully help me sell some of my collection. And one thing I do want to mention is that when I do create my first stream on there, I will probably release a bunch of videos talking about it and just kind of promoting it. So just make sure that you can hit that bell notification if that's something that you're interested in, or just kind of come back here every day and see what I'm going to be posting. So another failed 2022 goal was to collect more Batman. I think my goal was to get the 500 to the 600s, but at this point, what I'm going to go for next year is to try and just fill out the rest of the run from 500 on. It is more of a lofty goal, but it's pretty easy because I don't think that I have a lot of keys that I need to get in that run. I think I've gotten most of the big books. So if you have some like random old back issues of Batman, let me know. I would love to trade or buy them from you. Maybe we can work out some deals too as I'm getting rid of some of my stuff. Maybe we can, work out a trade, but that's one of those ones I think that I can do a pretty good job of getting that goal complete, hopefully. But it's a goal that also requires me to do these other goals, right? Because I'll have to sell some more books and I'll have to keep my collection organized, because that was the biggest issue. Sometimes if I didn't put into CLZ which Batman books I had, it was hard to know when I'm out searching if this is a book I need or not. So sometimes if they're in $3 bins, maybe I wasn't buying them because I didn't want to waste $3 on a book that I might not need. And the final part is I'm going to get into some of my big keys that I'm going to be searching for. I noticed, last year I tried getting a Miles Morales and I could not get that. It just got out of my price range with some of the other stuff. And I think I put a little too many books into stock of what I wanted to buy. So that's going to be a big one that I want to get. And another big key that I think I'm going to go for this year is the first appearance of Batgirl. I'll have that up here. And, those are both great books that I think will have some longevity a little bit. So one of the things I'm going to try and do is, as I sell, I'm going to try and focus on getting those 2 books and hopefully at least getting one of them. I usually do some other stuff like these are the keys under $50 that I'm looking for. And, I might make some videos like that, but these are going to be the 2 big keys. So I'm probably not going to make updates on really those as much because it's, I'm either going to get them or I'm not going to get them. So if you see a, hey, I got a grill today video, you know that that's kind of what happened. I like to create goals because it helps me focus on what I'm trying to collect and what I'm trying to get in some of these. And as I try and fill in my Batman runs, I think the hard thing is just, getting some of these keys. I'm just going to have to start pulling the trigger on some of them. I'm okay with getting a lower grade. I know the Poison Ivy book that I got last year was not a great grade, but hey, maybe someday I can upsell that one and get a better grade, or do some sort of a trade to do something to get a better version of that. So I just I kind of put these in place just to give me a place to focus. I might change in the middle of the year because maybe there's another book that just kind of screams to me, and maybe some character comes down for whatever reason and there's a good deal. I'm always going to grab those types of books, but this is really what I'm going to try and focus on for 2023. And yeah, just kind of going through that. One of the other things that I would really love to know though is what type of stuff do you want to see me continuously do on this channel? I would say that the only thing that has really stayed true, I usually kind of try and do a Monday mail call, and I usually try and do my most anticipated comics. But throughout last year, I think we've gotten to almost 40 issues of the most anticipated comic. So I think that's going to be always a staple. And the Monday mail calls, sometimes I don't get mail, sometimes I do, and sometimes it just pushes forward a few days or a few weeks because it takes a while. But are there any sort of videos that you'd like to see me do? I think I'm going to try and focus too on these goals and just show you me going through these goals and what type of stuff that I do. Because at the end of the day, I think this channel has always been about showcasing how I collect in the hobby and some of the weird random things I like to do in the hobby. Obviously, the cover collection challenges with Bearded Comic Bro will still be a staple throughout the year. But, just if there's any sort of individual things you would like to see me do or talk about, I would love to hear you talk about those down in the comments. So let me know, or hit me up on Instagram if, that's the way that you want to do it. Pretty much my goal has always been to expand people and talk to more people about comics with this channel. So that's always what it's been for. So if there's anything you would like to see, have me talk about or show off, please let me know. Once again, I hope that everyone had an awesome 2022, and hopefully 2023 is just as good, if not better for you. So if you have any goals, I would love to hear about them. And who knows, maybe I have something that I can help with your goals. So as always, I have been Cole. Thank you for stopping by, and peace.